It's a little after 7 p.m. on June 16th, 2017, and I've just uploaded a kind of a test video to YouTube, really as a specific test of fair play, fair use, one thing or another, to see if YouTube really has cleaned up its act. It's too early to celebrate the fact that apparently it hasn't been kicked off the platform. It shouldn't be, because of fair use. I referred to a screensaver in positive terms. A talented person in Australia named Walter made a good video, and he's given permission for its use to just about anybody. And of course, I've done something similar years ago with YouTube, only to find that YouTube was suffering from collective mismanagement. They've cleaned up their act. It's too soon to say that they have cleaned up their act to the extent that a fair use video is allowed by them. Today, when I uploaded about 10 minutes, it took, on my poor connection with my PC, it took an hour and a half just to upload a 10-minute video. So it's a time-consuming test to see whether or not YouTube really has, in fact, made a thoroughgoing effort to be fair about fair use and so on. I'm the first to admit that, if someone has an axe to grind about proprietary considerations, then there are ways for all of that to be sorted through in a decent way without being high-handed or arrogant. And it could be that YouTube has met those standards. But, on the matter of fair use, for example, I'm not really a fan of stupid video, there are sites that use a little bit more flesh than I like in stupid movies. And in the course of doing so, they have placement problems. Naked people sitting in a Camaro might upset Camaro executives at Chevrolet, but they don't protest. They could. And would that be a problem? Well, I know that's an extreme example, but I mean, if somebody is doing something with a can of Coca-Cola in his hand, Coca-Cola could say, oh, this is unfair use. Well, just where are you going to draw the line? Well, frankly, I think private enterprise needs to have discretion. And if they turn the screws too tightly, then there ought to be competition to settle the issue. But right now, nobody really can compete with the de facto power of YouTube or the de facto power of Facebook. I think it's lamentable that people don't compete, and maybe they would if Facebook and YouTube became too oppressive or arrogant. The recent run-in I had with Facebook involved far more arrogance than anything that YouTube has done, although the bottom line, the results were the same in a lot of ways. But the whole theory of competition is that private enterprise has a lot of discretion. And, if I use a number 2 yellow pencil in a scene that nobody likes, then the makers of the yellow number 2 pencil could object, theoretically. The same as anybody who, does an epic video or a music MTV kind of release? Well, obviously, some common sense is needed. Right now, though, it's still too early to celebrate whether or not YouTube has cleaned up its act. But if that video that I uploaded is a fair test of fair use, then I'll have some modest celebration and think a little bit more highly of YouTube than past efforts might justify. Well, I'm sitting in my room making a short video commenting on what could be the basis for my own modest celebration of the fact that YouTube has cleaned up its act. It's too early to say that they have. And if they have, I probably needn't belabor, their success, because their success will be rewarded in ways far better than some verbiage from me. I wish I could say that the issue is settled. It isn't. But over time it will be settled. And if it turns out that YouTube hasn't cleaned up its act, then of course I'm prepared to walk away rather than get on my high horse and try to do something. I have enough utility every day not to take on any more. But before the fact, I could say there's a possibility that YouTube is doing better than they did several years ago, notwithstanding the fact that the functions of the platform available to ordinary users have diminished considerably, and I can't say why. I won't second guess. I do know that the problems that they might have faced could have been solved differently than they have, and other sites have solved the problem differently than they have. Be that as it may, private enterprise deserves respect, and that allows for competition as an answer for any unfairness that crops in or out or around any given enterprise. So, I'd like to say YouTube is a roaring success now. It wasn't several years ago, but it might be too early to say so. If they have cleaned up their act, then any praise from me would be redundant. If they haven't, then, well, there's really no way to complain. So then I have uploaded that, and I'm going to upload this short clip. It'll be a bit easier to do than the 10-minute effort that I made. It took, it took a total of about 2 hours for the experiment, and it's a successful experiment already. But the results of the test could go either way now. I have a friend in Amsterdam who used to say, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. And so either way, I will have tried. And if I'm disappointed, well, that's not unusual. And in any event, it's better than not having tried anything. But I lack the resources to try any number of things anymore. Well, anyway, have a good day, folks.